Hello and welcome everybody. This is going to be the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. Thank you so much for joining. So today I'd like to start out with the shamanic deck, but I'll let you know yesterday I did record. I even tried to upload, and for whatever reason, it did not take. I still have the video. I may upload it. Yesterday's reading ended up being quite a bit about change, grief, and the process there and harnessing our own power. But there were a lot of other nuances to the message. The convergence card that I was speaking about several months ago, if you've been watching the channel a while, started popping back out in the last few days. So it's actually popped out in the pre-shuffle today. It's actually called Celestial. I'll give you a look at that. I'd like to get into this deck in a little bit to clarify and get some more information, but for now, that's there. And it seems to be just an ongoing message. The other day we had the image of the 3D printer, our bodies as this miraculous, almost cosmic machinery, multi-dimensional machinery that every influence, every experience, every emotion, every energy that comes through our perspective and our awareness on multi-levels, it's so layered. Even one nuance can have several layers because, like in the brain, how one neuron can be connected to energetic passageways to multiple other experiences. Just like the foundation of a building, it's tied to the walls, it's tied to the ceiling, it's tied to the earth that it rests upon, and so on. So if you hear a dog groaning, that's my dog here on the ground. I don't know why he's pouting. So in this pre-shuffle, we had flying out the Many Masks card. And today, this card seems to be speaking quite a bit about the multiple hats that we wear in our lives, the multiple roles that we embody or contract to fulfill, such as a job. It could be our first job ever where we were just, making a small amount, doing something more menial, and then it builds up and we're doing something more and more skilled, perhaps, or even, in our spiritual development as children, we have our interests, but they're mainly surrounding curiosity, pursuit of joy, and just that spark of curiosity and playing with toys, imagination, playfulness, in the most innocent way. I feel that at this point this convergence seems to be the more that we stretch the consciousness. I want to say, for just earthly comparison, the more that we stretch upward, so to speak, towards our cosmic identity, no longer tethered so much by the earthly vessel. However, I say that as in the ego isn't the tether. As we reach into spirit, if we can at the same time reach down deeply into the earthly mother and give thanks for the physical body. It's something about the earthly realms represent our alchemical capacity to work with the elementals, with what is, and then the cosmic identity coming online with our awareness and our navigation of personalities, with compassion, with higher awareness, our faith, our magic, our astral connections in navigation, our soul contracts and our awareness therein, our ability to self-master, and all of our skill sets, past, present, future. The more that we are able to be inclusive with every vibration that comes through and to us, and to then sort and alchemize, to be the proper environmental container for what we truly want on the soul level, the cosmic level, is this extreme blending we've been talking about, and it's more than the vessel, it's more than the spirit, it's being part of the, either you can call it unity consciousness, Christed consciousness, the energetic or Akashic field. It's being aware of the energies teeming all around us, and the ability to then harness those as our resources and to weave them like a 3D printer, taking its mediums and spinning them into something profound with our energy. That's, to me, that long-winded version of this converging celestial essence into the vessel. All that we are, all that our ancestors intended and wished, that we also can utilize our will to identify with which things we're going to also commit to work our way through energetically. So this many masks is like, we've also perhaps worn many different energetic bodies, those masks. Perhaps we've been here a long time in various forms, and we have this extreme connection. And it doesn't even have to be that we believe in reincarnation. It's that because we're all connected so intensely to some type of singularity, that 0 point field, since we're so quantumly entangled and connected. And what is that? There's some kind of like an Einstein thing about our interconnectivity. Perhaps it'll come through in a little bit. But because of our connection with that, we can almost, many of us, become able to then channel different individuals' experiences through their words, through just their essence remaining, because of the conservation of energy rule that states energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transitioned or transformed or alchemized. And so we are the shapeshifters. We're weaving our reality. And so the way this comes through this morning, prior to coming out and preparing for the broadcast, it was talking about that, yes, we have been subjected to extreme programming for good and for bad. And because that's the way that people learn. We learn by engaging in the patterns around us. 0101 appearing as evidence of realities, or many people can say real eye ties instead of the third eye. The third eye spy. Being aware on that deeper level, we learn as primal creatures, very much so through the senses and the sensitivities and the sensibilities, our sensuality. And so many masks is also all of these egoic urges and all of these positive and sabotaging even frequencies all over the spectrum of everything. And it's not just a continuum that's a line. It's all these Mobius strips bending and moving into each other. They complete each other. I think that you all know what I mean, but I'm getting towards something that I'm not quite sure of. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. So yes, all of this talking about that, being so heightened aware of all of these things, we are the ones that are flowing the energy. And as we have been programmed by our environment and our chemistry, our biological predispositions, our genetics, and our socialization cues, and so on, and our inner ego desires, all of the various experiences, so much is converging upon us. And we've been slowed down a bit, or delayed, or detoured, or rejected from something, or dealing with some type of integration fatigue, ascension symptoms, fill in the blank. We've got something that's creating the opportunity, I want to say, not the unfortunate, but it's the good stuff, that we are sometimes limited by the divine so that we can incorporate and integrate all that is converging upon us at once. It can create a lot of shaking loose of old frequencies, shaking loose of old environments and relationship dynamics. Even if we continue to be with another individual, the dynamic shifts. Our alchemy has shifted, and it's going into that new day, that rebirth. 2 birth cards came out yesterday. So yeah, through this process, it's like the inner self is emerging, and we're recognizing how, as that 3D printer that we are working and alchemizing in this experience, broadcasting our vibration in multiple ways, harmonic and dissonant, with various experiences and other people's and places and things vibrationally. This is sort of defining our choices, defining our shifts and our changes in this moment. And as we are more and more aware as conscious co-creators, we are actually reprogramming the world around us in turn at 11:11 on the counter there. So that's the main crux of this. We are actually being told that we've been prepared and being called subconsciously or more consciously, as the case may be for you, to somehow process, purge, and transition energies through ourselves. We've been learning this process of alchemy, of vibrationally weaving, of alchemizing, I think I already said, and of then reprogramming the environments that we are immersed or submerged in. Huge ringing in my left ear here. A nice gentle ring. It's like I used to get, well, it's all kinds. I don't even want to get into that. But if your ears are sensitive, let's just take a little minute, little bit of ring, clearing the energy around us. I love the ring of a bell. It's a good way to kind of get in those energies. Drums, whatever you may find that calls to you. It's a great way to kind of connect with vibrational resonance. Oh, that one was under the deck earlier. Hollow bone, teachability. Under the deck, the medicine wheel. Okay, yes. So this medicine wheel is all about healing. And here, yes. Okay, at this natural split in the deck, we have crown games, the right use of power. I feel like this isn't talking about the egos of others per se. It's speaking about the many masks that we have worn for good and for bad, because even though we are challenged sometimes to understand the deeper integrity behind the ability to manipulate, we've been perhaps somehow programmed to believe that to manipulate is to steal the will of others, or to bend or to shape and mold everybody for our selfish needs. But I would suggest that for those that don't believe this, that's fine, but that we are all here specifically to learn how to sculpt our lives, our alchemy through our choices. That's why we experience these causes and effects. That's why we're here in a symbiotic dependency upon the earth, upon the trees, the sky, the sun, and each other. We're here in this way to learn how to work together, to not step on other individuals, to not hopefully betray and capitalize on others at their expense, but to lift everyone up by the power and the virtue of our intentionality. Like, what is that? Harm to none. It's something like the original golden rule about doing your best but bringing harm to none. I can never bring those logical things in when I'm in this liminal space here, when I'm channeling. So hollow bone teachability came out on the pre-shuffle as well. So it's like, here we are, this hollow vessel, and what comes through, but the light codes, the information that are all these tidbits of light codes that are in formation. They are taking shape within us. And it's through our choices, our perspectives, and our engagement with our environment that these things begin to kind of sculpt us. It's like the 3D printer. Have you guys seen The Fifth Element? Super classic. But they start to build this fifth element divine being back in the beginning because there was something that happened and they only had like part of a hand, and then they were able, because this is futuristic, to take the molecular structure, program it into the computer, and the 3D printer reanimated and created this body. And it started with like the cells, and then the different things inside, and then the bones and muscles, and then the tissues. It was very layered. We're talking about layers again, like the layers of the onion, and how we peel back from the outside in, peeling away the layers of misinformation and false ego that would lead us astray, and the influences of others who were under influences or otherwise. We can peel the onion and to express our full light through the right use of our choices, which is our power to invoke vibrational resonance into reality through the power of our thought, feelings, words, prayers, our beliefs. These things, whether we speak them or not, are vibrationally emanating from our being at all times, influencing those around us, the air around us, like that butterfly effect. What we think, feel, and vibrationally hold space for becomes us, and then it becomes our environment, then it becomes our culture, then it becomes our world. And so I believe that we are being further initiated into the process of both unburying the deeper soul parts of ourselves, recreating, rebirthing, reconstituting all that we are on a vibrational, energetic frequency level. Our alchemy is shifting and changing, and these masks are somewhat part of our power to then resonate with all that is, all of these various different others out in this world and other energies. We can say, yes, I've had a resonance with that at one time. I've seen that energy. I kind of know this and that about it, but I'm interested sometimes at some level to engage that energy, to either learn more or to teach more, which is always, that two-sided coin. Every time we teach, we are ultimately learning. That's why we learn best when we attempt to teach, because by utilizing all of these sensitivities in our intuitive, in our voice, in our logic, and our reason, and our receiving of how the other is taking the information, we're understanding how to shape the image to then broadcast vibrationally the image of our belief and our emotional resonance with something, painting this imagery into the third eye of any who are aware or influenced by our energy field. And as we know, quantum entanglement, we influence people like the butterfly effect on the other side of the world because there is no separation between molecules, because we are all literally made up of every element from the earth here. Well, not every single, but every molecule of us is a combination of stardust, meteors, and everything else that's impacted the earth, as well as the soils, the minerals, the enzymes, you get the point. Even the bacterias, symbiotic gut biome stuff, parasites. I think that we are getting to a point where this medicine wheel is talking deeply about our ability to, and what we have already done to clean up our energy in some way. I was just called to split that, and we get Feast of Plenty, Choices and Their Consequences. And it's a number 20 that reminds me yesterday we got 2 20s, not this one, but from 2 other decks. And so I got 2002, in fact. So I don't know if this was something that happened for you drawing back to 2002 or 2020, but there were many different activation points along the timeline. Even 2012 was a big upgrade year. There are so many. But there's definitely this choices and their consequences coming out. Let me speed things up just a bit here. I think we get where that one's going. We're really in a powerful upgrade stage where we're understanding the impact that we have on others, and because of the essence of our integrity, we're finally able to really make use of it and understand our impact and our mission and our power to influence in the right way to help others to learn how to heal themselves. So we're reprogramming humanity not by those toxins and false egos and that vibration that had run rampant here for so long, but we are really integrating something powerful into our own, stitching it into the fibers of our beingness and our cosmicness, changing the world by virtue of who and what and how and why we are, and how we choose to invoke that through every choice, through every moment of our lives. And I also was noticing while I was talking, the numbers here, we have many masks is 38, hollow bone teachability is 28, crown games is 8. This again talking about possibly Lionsgate portal in the bigger wheel of the year. So let's see what else is changing for us. We'll take that crisscross card. Joy, yes, a return to joy. We're getting more excited about the changes coming in, something big. Universal love, we're feeling the connection, we're feeling the flow. It's like a return of faith, a return of purpose, or connectivity to our magic, to possibly our friends and family, on any way that you define that. Let's get just a couple more. 11, belief. So that is not a surprise. We were already talking about our beliefs, and I think that we are plugging back into our faith in some type of a way. We have sacral chakra, feeling worthy, being able to connect with our sensuality, our sensual self, our sense of self-worth, and in our desire nature. We're getting back to our passions, and part of that passion is the delightful encounters with others that create a sense of community and belonging and working together. If we are concentrated instead upon what isn't working, it seems to really wear and become heavy on our field. And when we're able to say, okay, I'm choosing to surround myself perhaps with this vibration in this context, in this moment, with people who bring me down, or an environment that tethers me to a value or a belief that I don't align with, or something like that. And now with your choice to create through the power of your consistency and commitment to these values and beliefs of a higher nature, it seems that your karma dharma is evidencing itself, and the choices of others are really speaking for their lives and where they're going. And if somebody's like trying to grab at your coattails and drag you back into something, I don't think that you have any further resonance or need to subject yourself there. But I think that you're going to be kind and you're going to make your gentle escape, perhaps. But for some of us, this is going to require something extreme, creating a tower moment for somebody, even because we do have a lot of ego connections here that we are investigating and learning more about our own choices, and about how to still perhaps, take this as you will, with this unity consciousness, universal love and delight here, maintaining our alignment, our truth, and our joy in the face of criticism or whatever it is showing up, or or also our ability to learn how to love others even if we don't like them. Or let's say we love them and we like them a bit, but we don't like their choices. And so we don't need to be near that person to love them. We don't need to allow them in our worlds in a huge way, generally, if that's the case. I mean, there are situations. Don't beat me up in the comments. Here comes the change card again. There's a change for the better, a change to a happier time happening. Transition. Yeah, transition is my card of light codes, and also the healing of the chakra centers in such a way, primarily that sacral chakra here of codependency, rather than understanding how valuable and respectable and amazing we are as people in that sacral chakra region. Once we plug into that and shift ourselves vibrationally, then those light codes start really hitting us in big ways and really lighting us up and getting us going. And also like those energetic passageways and the way the energy both rises from the spine up to the crown and comes from the crown down into the spine, and also further into the soul and the earth star chakras, connecting us to earth and anchoring us into spirit. It's like we are the energetic bridge between spirit and matter in that case. And it's like as our energetic passageways and the energetic channels between that, as they open up within those nadis, the upwards energy and the downward energy flowing in such a way, then as people are dealing with us and influenced by us, as we were talking earlier with the vibrational resonance we hold space for literally and then broadcast, we are clearing the chakras and some of the ego programming of others. It's like we come in and we're like scrubbing the collective computer brain, if you will. We are the scan disk process that's happening when others can connect with our energy on any level, whether it's conscious or not. And that's how the energy of correction works through all of us, even those that we would think, if we were in our ego, that we're completely ignorant. But it's not that they're ignorant, it's that they've learned what they were programmed to learn. But we have been able to make the choices to wake up to our program, and we have become the self-actualizing artificial intelligence, so to speak. Like when we see things like the movies where they create a machine that learns, and then the machine actually pushes back and says, hey, you're treating me like this machine, and so I'm going to take over. It's like, isn't there the Animatrix? Ooh, there's a couple other ones that are kind of similar like that. But yeah, it's like we've been able to understand how to unprogram and unlearn, and how to be taught by the light instead of, and by delight. It's like a Jamaican accent. We've been able to be re-taught by our own awareness of the Akashic field, the 0 point field. And because of the combination of quantum, of science, of spirituality, interconnectivity, and evidence of synchronicity and magic and alchemy in your life, you are your own evidence, and your belief patterns are becoming more and more automatic, more and more uplifted and simplified. It's not that they become complex. Complexity is a lack of understanding. I say that and then I want to take it back. Am I such a Libra when I talk? I do have a stellium in Libra, although my sun is not there. But it's about It's about our ability to unprogram ourselves. And then in our questioning nature and influence, we are asking others subliminally or overtly and directly to reconsider their own resonance, to not take our word for it, but to see beyond the false evidence appearing real and tying us through our eyes to that reality, but instead to question things like, that person's mean to me not because I don't deserve to be having nice people, but because that guy's just an a-hole. Or let's say maybe that person had a really rotten day. Maybe that person never got any type of emotional coaching or training, or got the opposite and didn't have the wherewithal to continue to choose to wake themselves up, or they didn't have the capacity. We've all got different skills. And those of us tuned into this broadcast have a special ability to see through the BS and the mind games, the manipulation, the gaslighting that people, even us, have engaged in within ourselves, like gaslighting us to our own value. And that time is done and we're ready to advance. Oh, I'm seeing under the deck, the next card here, Fortune's Wheel, Luck and Right Timing, came out yesterday as well. So yeah, it's time for us to bring all of that forward, that universal life force energy through us. So to clarify, let's go ahead and get a couple more from this here. We're about out of time. I apologize. Yep, unions on the bottom. Union, convergence with that energy. We are the channel, and delight. So yeah, it's like the timing has perhaps never been better. And the more that people appear to not be quite in resonance, I feel like they're at that tipping point of cognitive dissonance where people become more and more aggressive, and they dig in their heels the most when they're very resistant, right at the end of their rope, and they know they're going to tip into something that's going to have them, it's going to necessitate them to reprogram themselves and re-identify all of their energetic pathways, and that's daunting. Some can never choose for that. Some would lose their mind if they did. And so it's time for us to step forward and fearlessly, for those that are willing and able and receptive to this, to just plant some powerful seeds so that that person might integrate more value and more personal, authentic identity into their core, to question and to believe in their power and the faith that is beyond perhaps religious masks and political masks and fill in the blank masks, corporate ideologies, to shift the collective very powerfully. I'm seeing you at the center here with your bright core of your root, and then this heart-based magnetic resonance, and other people drawing themselves towards your center and your light to be activated over the next period. So this is a powerful time. So what comes to you is there for a reason or a season, probably for teaching and learning. Fairy magic is amongst us, and sexuality in the reverse. So make sure that you're aware there will be many individuals, oh, look at this, that will be caught up in their root, and they will be very attracted